Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Sunday Funday, inconsistent bookworm that I've been meaning to get into for a while. The reason why, as you can both see, I am actually talking about Saiyuki, and I'm talking about two volumes here. I'm talking about 3, which is behind here, and 4. And there's a reason why I'm doing this. Now, I have not really ever had a chance to talk about Saiyuki. I think I did volume 2, maybe way back when. I don't 100% remember. And I need to talk about my feelings on Saiyuki and also about the famous company that these were originally put out by, TokyoPop. Those who do not know about TokyoPop, they were probably one of our first major manga companies, the companies that really brought in a lot of manga from overseas. And they both did it in a good way, but also a bad way. And the fact that the good way, they brought over a lot of manga. Bad way, they brought over a lot of manga. Bad by saying that because they weren't super choosy on what they ended up bringing. Some of it was famous, like Saiyuki and Trinity Blood. Oh god, there's a few others. I even still have a number of my original mangas from TokyoPop. Of course, Trinity Blood is like very famous, kind of almost infamous at this point. Hell, I'm also looking up way in my collection. There's also the Mobile Suit Gundam original Lost War Chronicles, really fantastic series that unfortunately went 2 volumes for some reason. And unfortunately, they ended up shuttering because of their business practices and the fact that they brought over manga as quickly as possible and they didn't always double check to make sure it was really good or would really fit for the standards of, here in the US and what we would like. This is both a good and bad thing in the fact that they didn't check to always make sure we were all going to like it. Good in the fact that, we don't have to necessarily always love what you're going to bring to us. In fact, sometimes you're going to surprise us with something that we may not love as much as we originally would think. But in the same instance, you gotta still make sure that it's at least something that would seem palatable to us humans. Or humans, sorry, that was wrong. To us Americans. We have a lot different taste than that of the Japanese. We have different cultures. And for good reason, because, we're not this, we weren't isolated from the world for a good reason, because, Japan, everybody wanted to fucking conquer them. Those are assholes. But here, TokyoPop kind of bringing in all this stuff ended up making it to where they were putting out a lot of stuff that nobody really read. In fact, if you go to many like used bookstores or anything like that, you're gonna find a lot of TokyoPop mangas. And not only that, but if you like even check my volume 3 here, it came serial, like there's like dents all in it and it's kind of coming apart in places. And a lot of TokyoPop mangas are just not really, they're not as sturdy as your regular show and jump. I would compare Yen Press to them in terms of their flexibility, though Yen Press seem to be a little bit better in terms of spine contortion and everything. So, kind of quickly talking about TokyoPop here, just saying it's like, I'm sad they are gone, and also I'm sad that a lot of the mangas I did bring over, nobody else has picked up for one reason or another, and I don't know why. Like Saiyuki, I do know there was a Saiyuki Reloaded, but I want to say again that was put out by TokyoPop in their waning days. I would have to double check, I'm probably wrong. But also, Trinity Blood has never had a reprint. Hell, Priest, when it was originally brought over, was on TokyoPop, and it's never come back out. It's led to us pretty much losing a lot of good mangas, and that's a problem. I want to have physical media. I love physical media, personally. Not just DVDs, but mangas, of course. So, that is my feelings real quick on TokyoPop. To talk about Saiyuki, and part of the things, and the reason why I kind of wanted to bring up about TokyoPop, reading Volume 4 recently, because I read Volume 3 a while back, and I'm like, I'm going to get to it eventually and do a review, or mangas I kept doing quicker or sooner, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I kept forgetting about Volume 3. Eventually, I totally forgot I read Volume 3, and I was like, oh, shit, I didn't remember it. I read it back over. I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty good. But then I decided to read Volume 4, and I noticed the problem. Okay, so again, this is the reason why I'm needing to bring up TokyoPop. Volume 3 does not go to Volume 4. I don't know how else to put it. And the reason why I'm actually viewing these together, in the fact that this does not lead into this. Like, I've talked about the fact that, hey, there is, you know, cliffhanger endings and stuff like that. It's kind of cliche amongst the manga crowd. Here, this one doesn't have a cliffhanger. It just doesn't have an ending at all that leads to 4. 4, to talk about it very quickly, because it is the one that I read like 5 times, just simply because I'm like, okay, am I missing something here? Because I don't remember some of this shit. We learn about this lovely gentleman here. If I'm not mistaken, his name is Gojo. I want to say his name Gojo? Or no, it's Hanai, I think is how you pronounce his name. Or, sorry, I'm retarded. Hakakai. Hakakai. Hakkai. Hakakai. I think it's how it's pronounced. Or Haki. I'll call him Haki-san. Haki-san sounds good. But yeah, he comes across a yokai from his past. Yokai, those who are wondering, it is kind of like a spirit demon in the best way of describing it. Japan, it can be used for different things. In fact, this young kid that's on the back here, his name is Goku, not in reference to the Dragon Ball, very famous manga at that time. I mean, when Saiyuki was originally invented, it's like, yeah, Dragon Ball was a big thing in Japan. Still is. Still a big thing here in America. But it's actually based on the famous character from the reason why it's called that in Dragon Ball, which is, Journey to the West. That's the reason why his name's Goku. But yeah, it pretty much still, the volume 4 begins with Hakai. They're running from a person from his past. Hacky-sack, because I'm just going to keep calling him because I'm going to butcher his poor name. He has, pretty much they're hinting that there's a lot of things like they've already been messed with in certain different ways. That didn't happen in 3. At the end, in the middle, no. What happened in 3 was more of a Sanzo and a Gojo. These two lovely gentlemen here. If I'm not mistaken, this is Sanjo, I want to say, and that's Gojo. I might have it reversed because I'm just keep telling you, I'm stupid. But yeah, they're dealing with stuff throughout Volume 3, and it was kind of like a little bit of character development and kind of talking about their past, because all the 4 of these characters, their pasts are kind of hinted at but never fully explained. And in fact, even Goku has a bit of an early part where it's talking about his yokai powers kind of going out of control, his limiter's been removed, and he's able to get back under control. Well, thanks to Sanzo. And I was like, okay, that's cool, and it's all fun. It's like, alright, that was cool. It wasn't, like, outstandingly one of the best mangas. Like, there's still some really good artwork. Like, the artwork that you see on the back here, and some of the actual action is pretty damn good. It's pretty consistent. Like, nowhere do the characters do the, like, hey, I'm, this really good, well-drawn anime character, so I do hold down, and then they get that really weird, goofy face thing that they do sometimes. Here, it's all consistently really good artwork. But again, they don't flow together. Like, the reason why I read over Volume 4 a few times, because I'm like, I don't remember any of that shit that they're talking about beforehand happening in 3. And I read 3 over again because of that. And I'm like, this does not flow into 4. F fucking all. Like, none of the shit that they're talking about, none of this shit happens in this shit. And it's bizarre. And I was like, okay, I know it's been a while since I read 2, and I was almost tempted to pull it out and go ahead and give it a quick little glance over, but I'm like, was that a thing that they accidentally did in TokyoPop and improperly put together certain volumes? That's the reason why I kind of bring it up, because it does seem like they didn't exactly do this correctly. It does feel like I'm missing a few chapters of a story somewhere. I don't know what the hell happened here. And it's a problem. And also, it's another thing that I kind of noticed after reading 3 and 4 really back to back. And I was like, alright, the characters are fine, the action's fine. I don't care what's happening. Maybe because I'm having to reread all this to try and piece together the story. And unfortunately, the story's just, it's so cut and pieced back together in these weird random order, I can't follow what the hell is happening in it. And that's a really big fucking problem. Like, I am legitimately confused on what's happening in the story. Sure, it's nice to get some backstory on all these characters, and it's really good backstory. Just because I don't know what the overarching plot of the entire book is. Like, I went back through and I did not see any parts of the overarching, but these, like, few chapters where it's just people were pretty much sending out monsters to go fight them. Not real chapters, I mean pages, like 2-3 pages here. It's these people, we'll send them after them. What? And I had to go back and kind of reread some of the stuff from 1. I'm like, oh, okay, so that's what this is about. And still with this massive, like, yokai group or something. It's like, but why is this such a subplot? It feels like, I can get, a serialized show at best. Or, in fact, I actually prefer shows that are usually a bit more serialized than anything. Instead of, just Monster of the Day bullshit that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. most of the first season was. But here, it gets to the point where it's not even serialized. It just feels like that we're having 2 different books merged together because there is not really a good overarching story. And in fact, the characters don't bring up what the hell they are doing or why they are doing what they are doing. So it creates a lot of problems throughout the entire run so far. Like, I'm at a loss for words. It's not that it's bad. Like, that's another just profoundly annoying factor in all this. Like, the writing in this, it's good. What writing is there. But again, it feels like I got another volume between these two, and I'm missing something. It's like, what am I missing? Like, I fear I'm going to pick up 5, and I'm going to be just as fucking confused as I was when I picked up 4. I don't remember 3 not bridging to 2 real well. I swore it did. Maybe I was wrong about that. So, I don't fucking know. Like, that is the worst thing by the end of all this. Like, I cannot tell you what is truly happening in this. Other than the fact that Hacky Sack in the 4th one had to deal with a guy who was a yokai from his past who shows that Hacky Sack in a way. He's kind of got this, like, werewolfism in a way. It's more of a yokai, like, half-human thing. But it's a little bit more horrific and he's kind of not in control. So, more like werewolf than anything. He's kind of just toying with him and playing with him until, eventually the group is able to overpower him. More importantly, Hacky Sack is the one who's able to do it. I'm really sorry I'm butchering his name. It seems like I'm picking on him. It's like I really like the poor guy. And same with the stuff with Sanzo and Gojo from Volume 3. It's like, oh, it's actually really cool to see them deal with the facts. Like, oh, here's this, priest who kind of allowed the yokai to eventually get the better of him. And Sanzo was like, well, you shouldn't have let that happen. And it's like no bullshit attitude through 2 things. And Gojo just being his normal badass attitude. Because, he's got the long hair and that makes him a badass. Oh, but the overarching story, there's no story there. There's nothing connecting from one event to the other. And instead, it just feels like random elements of different things just fucking happening because they're fucking happening. And again, because of the fact that Volume 4 feels like it picks up from the end of another volume, and it's not Volume 3, I'm really confused at. Like, I reread and I'm double checking. I'm like, this isn't reloaded, isn't? Like, I'm utterly baffled here. Like, I honestly do not know why this happened. So, if you have ever been curious if you should pick up Saiyuki, that's a problem I'd say. It's like I said, the artwork in it is pretty damn good. It's, I'd say, a little bit better than most normal mangas nowadays. My Hero Academia, notwithstanding. If I can, give that a little bit more of a tug. And the writing can be fairly good, even though sometimes the translations don't translate as well as they should. Again, another bit of a TokyoPop thing, not so much the writers themselves. Just the problem is, I don't fucking know what's happening in the story, and I can't suggest that people should get this if there's a overarching story that's not connected worth a damn. I mean, unless it's how this was originally released, but again, why would they do a Saiyuki Reloaded if they didn't forget shit? Which, obviously, they fucking did. Oh, so I cannot suggest anybody get Saiyuki, unfortunately. Maybe Saiyuki Reloaded fixed these problems. I'm not sure. I never got a chance to read it. I'm going to finish Saiyuki at least, or at least Volume 5. I think I have Volume 5 somewhere around here. But if you are really just interested and you're curious, I'd say skip it. You're gonna be more angry by the end of it, and you're gonna be like, why the fuck is this not really connecting together? But hey, let me know if Saiyuki Reloaded fixed the issues. I might decide to pick that up and just be like, here, I'm reading Saiyuki. Ha 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 ha. Who knows? We'll see what all it held. But hey, that's Saiyuki for you. Like I said, I'm probably going to eventually give you all a 5 review, because I think I have Volume 5 somewhere around here. Just to let you know, like many different books with TokyoPop, this also only lasted like 12 issues, or 12 volumes altogether. It's kind of brief, to put it nicely. Which, again, that kind of cuts down how much people can actually give you money. Don't know why. Like, My Hero Academia is like up to 20 something. Come on, guys. You think you're getting money. But hey, that's Saiyuki 3 and 4, so it's the best thing I can say about it. But hey, I will see y'all later with some more reviews, and of course, tomorrow y'all get Angels Fallen, and maybe I'll enjoy it, maybe I'll just be... But until then, y'all, see you later, so bye-bye, everybody.